Sometimes it gives you a chance to see the bigger picture. You know, maybe in that situation, they got sick and they had to leave before the job was done, or their kid got sick and they had to go home and take care of it, and you just don't know. But you give yourself a little space and time, and you realize, I'm so glad I didn't say something. If you wait and you find out that that wasn't the case, well, then go to your team leader. Hey, notice there's a little breakdown here. It helps take the edge out of your voice. There's something about when we speak to people and we complain and we're like, I walked up this morning, there was pens and papers and trash, and somebody left their gum in a wad, and this is guest services. Where is the excellence? Celebration Church is known for excellence. You know what your zone leader's going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We just got here. You know, but when we're emotional, that's what we do. You know, when we're emotional and we're complaining, we're putting out a push. Emotionally, we're putting out it's a push. That's not how, you know what happens when you push against something? It pushes back at you. So, if we don't want to push back, what do? We're going to open our hearts and we're going to make a soft place to land, right? Because you know what I do when I come home from a long trip and it's been hard? You know the first place I go? My bed. I go flop on my bed. I love my bed. I love it so much. I look at stuff all and go, my bed. My bed. Because my bed, it's always soft. It's always a safe place to land. I think it's like it's got open arms waiting for me. It's my bed. It has my pillows on it. It's safe. It's comfy. So when we're bringing things out into the light, you know, we want to be like comfy. You don't want to make an occasion for pushback. You want to make an occasion for flopping. Ah, my friend, she's always got my back. She's not going to let me start this day with a just tore up guest services counter, and how embarrassing. Thank goodness you can go from, she is such a complainer. All she ever does is point out the negative. I can't even believe she said that to me. And it's true what she said. It is disgusting over there. And what is wrong with her? Like, you could either do that or they could go, God, thank goodness for that girl. She's got the eye. She noticed that nobody else did. Do you see? It's all about how you say it. And when we give ourselves some distance, we take off that push. We take off the emotions are what make the push. It's not the facts. The facts are the facts. But when we're emotional, you're asking for pushback. So it's never a bad idea just to wait. Doesn't mean you don't say it. Just give yourself some distance, right? So useful complaints are the ones that are directed to a solution. Useless complaints are the kind that distract you from the task at hand or use energy in a counterproductive way, spread negativity, or sap courage and productivity. So you don't need to write all those down. There's just some examples. Just if you're complaining and it's keeping you from getting the job done, it's not helping. If you're complaining and someone's becoming discouraged, it's not helping. Okay, and I like to because that is the difference between complaining and building. You know, you're all builders. When we serve on a team, when we serve at sisterhood, when we're in our families, when we're in our marriages, when we're in our friendships, you need to think of yourself as a builder. Not just like I'm there in it with people, but you also are a builder. You have the capacity to build that relationship, and when you build something, you bring structure around it, you bring strength to it, you make it beautiful. You have the capacity to do that with your words. And so I just think if you would see your words that way, I think that every person in here would be fantastic at using them in that way. I just think sometimes we forget that our words can do that, right? So I want to be the kind of person that remembers that. Okay, really quick, I want to run down these other blanks. So a legitimate complaint can be resolved if you direct it to the one who can change your situation. That's number 2 under complaining. A legitimate complaint can be resolved if you direct it to the one who can change your situation. Number 3, complaining is contagious. Don't sneeze out complaining spores. Just keep it in, cover your mouth. Don't, just wait. You're not going to regret waiting. Discouraging. I want to just talk about this super quick. This is a good one. Because you know what? You've probably heard me talk about this before. Discouragement is my number 1 giant in my life. It's like, I think I've overcome it, and then right whenever I need the most courage, it rears its ugly head, and I'm going, I thought you were gone. Like, I thought I put a rock in your forehead. What are you doing here? You know, I have to always battle. I don't know. It's something about the way I'm wired. It doesn't completely, it gets better, but it doesn't ever go away. It's just one of those things. It just is what it is, like a pebble in my shoe. It's that thorn in my flesh. God doesn't take it away, but His grace is sufficient for me in it. So this is something I feel really good about speaking to because I literally have to live this all the time. So discouragement, let's just give you the blanks here. A discourager can dampen someone's hope, confidence, and enthusiasm. Hope, confidence, and enthusiasm. And you'll see a little tip right here. But I just want to give sort of a personal example. One time, a friend of ours, a leader a leader in our church who's still here, a great friend of mine. We're friends. We are real friends. She came to me and she said, I want to tell you what I feel like God's called me to do. And I'm like, awesome. She's like, I really want to hear what you think about this. And I was like, okay, awesome. That's great. So she comes and she kind of lays out the desires of her heart. And, one of the things that happens with me is just, to be honest, like as a result of my position and being a pastor, people will often come tell me what their dreams are and what their ideas are. And I'll go, that sounds like a great idea. And what they hear is, go do it. I'm empowering you. You have budget. Like that's what they hear. I'm saying, that sounds good. And they're here, go to accounting and get money. That's what happens. And it's just because of my position, like maybe they're coming to ask me for money and they don't ever cross that line. But when I say that's a good idea, they hear, go get money. So I have learned to be extremely cautious about my affirmation of things because it's been taken out of context too often. So I just want to be careful. So when this dear friend of mine came to me, she told me, this is why I feel like God's calling to me. I set out about it in that way. I said, well, if you want to do that, this is where you are right now. And then to go to this level, you need to do this, and then this, and at this level, this will be what you have to work through. And I said, so if that's what you feel called to do, then I think it's a great idea. I'm not saying that I think it's God. I was just very conservative. I'm like, I think you could do that. I was very, very, very conservative with I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to put her down. I thought I was helping her. Honestly, I did. I had just gotten into such a pattern of reserved affirmation because my words have been taken out of context so much, but it turned into a bad, I didn't have the wisdom to understand this. I didn't need to do it here. This isn't someone who doesn't know me. This is a proven friend. They know me. They're going to take it in context. And she just kind of wrote me back and she was like, I can't believe we were emailing, which is also another bad thing. Don't ever do this over email. Free tip for everyone. So just learn that lesson. I can't believe you did that to me. I can't believe I came to you as my friend and as my pastor to breathe encouragement and life into my dream. I don't even want to do it anymore. I just feel like, whatever. I'm just going to go work at Starbucks now. I thought, you know what? I wrote her back and I said, I'm so sorry. Let's just erase. I wish I could erase this. Delete the email I sent you. You can at least delete emails. You can't delete my words. You can delete emails. So throw that one in the trash and let's start over. And I reframed it. I said, this is the good that I see in you. And I think that you have the capacity to overcome I just turned it into an encouragement. See, I didn't have the wisdom then to understand when to encourage and when to be practical. And there's a time for being practical, but there's a time for encouragement. And what you and I've learned, I used to think it was just me that was something was wrong with me because I always struggle with discouragement. Most people do. Most people struggle with not believing most people don't suffer from overconfidence because that's just true. Most of us don't struggle from believing in ourselves too much. Most of us struggle with thinking, can I? Really? You think I could? Think I could get my degree? You really think I could be the team leader of this team? You really think I could make worship team? You really think I can? Do you? I never saw myself that way. And I think sometimes in our haste to protect people from disappointment or our worry that they're missing God, or maybe sometimes we don't want them to leave, or we have a vested interest in them not doing that. Who knows the motive of our heart? And what can flow out instead of breathing life into those dreams is our fear, our own worry, maybe our own regret that we didn't do the same thing. And so we end up discouraging and holding them back. Listen, I know in my life, there's never a time, people come up to me all the time, they go, I want to tell your word, your message was so good, it really ministered to me. I'm sure you get tired of hearing that. I'm like, no, I don't get tired of hearing about it. I could hear it 100,000 more times today, and I still wouldn't be tired of hearing about it. Look, every time someone comes and prays, I'm praying for you. I'm sure you hear that all the time. You're probably tired of hearing it. No, I would never get tired of hearing it. I can't believe people pray for me. When people say I'm praying for you, do you know the first thought I think is, I can't believe people pray for me. I can't believe people take time out of their day and pray for me. For me, it's me. Why are they doing that? That's my first reaction. You would think I'd be like, yes, I'm your pastor. You ought to be lifting me up to the Lord. No, I think, why in the world is this person thinking about me in their prayer time? I can't even believe it. It's like, God, thank you. Like, I don't suffer from overconfidence. I know what it feels like to wonder if you can do it. But I got to tell you this, God believes in you. And I believe in you. And look, there is something about I would not be doing what I'm doing today, which honestly, by world standards, it's really not that much. When you put it in perspective of everybody else and what other people, it's not that much. But it's what my heart has always wanted. And I wouldn't be doing it if there weren't people around me believing in me and saying, we think you can do it, and it's okay for you to mess up, because the fact that you messed up didn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you're growing. If I didn't have people around me pushing me forward and cheering me on, I wouldn't be speaking to you today. You know what I'm saying? So where you plant yourself and who you have speaking into your life. And let's remember that when people put their dreams out there to us, we have a moment of choice to breathe life into that. And we can circle back around later with the practicals. You know what I'm saying? You can always come back later. Hey, let's follow up about that discussion we had. What are you doing to put that into motion? You know, there's a timing factor. There's a time for practicals. But when someone's opening the gates of their heart to you to tell you the dream that God's birthed in there, I can speak from experience and tell you, not a great time to bring the practicality to the table. That is a great time to say, by the power of God that works in you and through you, all things are possible in him. Amen. Awesome. Amen. Thank you so much for being with me today. You're amazing, and I love being with you.